Welcome to episode 26 of The Mental Dietitian. I'm your host, Ahren Lynch-potter, and today I'm going to talk about momentum, the big Mo, the law of momentum, why it's so important, and when you've got it, you're on fire and you're unstoppable, and when you don't got it, it sucks, and you feel like no matter how hard you work, nothing works. And when you got momentum, everything you touch turns to gold. Right now, I have some momentum at work. And it's very interesting how it happens. It kind of almost feels like luck. Things just keep going your way. And it's very important to notice that when those moments happen in your life, that's when you actually have to dig in a little bit more and work harder. What a lot of people do is they take their foot off the gas. I've done it. I've done it many, many times. It's happened in many areas of my life. It's like that saying, the harder you work, the luckier you get. I remember not really understanding what that saying meant. And then I realized many, many years later that it really is talking about the law of momentum. The harder you work, the luckier you will get, because the law of momentum really starts kicking in. Now, when you don't have momentum, it sucks. It sucks so bad. It feels like nothing you do is working. Everything you're doing is just crap. And it's really reflected in science. They've done studies. I heard that up to 90% of rocket fuel was used just to get the rocket into outer space. Apparently that's not true. But here's what is true. I did some research before I did this podcast. 31% of the rocket ship's fuel is used in the first 60 seconds to get that rocket to maximal speed, to get it to push out of orbit, to get it push into orbit, sorry. That thing holds 350 million tons of fuel. So it uses about 100 million tons of fuel just in the first 60 seconds. What does that mean? That means that when you don't have momentum in your life, you've got to work extra hard. You got to work really, really damn hard, just like a rocket does, to pull away from Earth's gravity and to start its journey. Now, if you find yourself in one of these places right now, and I've been there. I work in sales. Sales is a perfect example of it. There's people that I work with that sometimes they got momentum and sometimes they don't. And 2 months ago, I had no momentum at all. And I was getting frustrated. I had a really small paycheck. And I was like, man, what's going on? What happened over the last 2 months, I've noticed, is I started working more and prioritizing it more. And now I'm starting to get momentum where in a week, I've sold more cars than I usually would in a month. Now, they're not done yet, and I'm not going to jinx myself. But so far in the first 2 weeks, I've basically hit my monthly quota and a little bit more. The very interesting thing about that, when that happens, is it's very easily mentally to take your foot off the gas. So easily. You're like, okay, well, I've already made all this money, or I've lost all this weight, or whatever. I've already done this or done that. And then what happens is we stop doing the things that got us the momentum in the first place. We stop putting in those extra reps at the gym. We stop spending that time with our child that flourished and nourished this great relationship. It's like, oh man, I'm really connecting with my daughter. I'm really connecting with my son. I'm really connecting with my spouse. But then what happens, you stop doing those little things that got you to the point where you feel that great connection. All of a sudden, you don't feel connected anymore. It's because you stopped doing the things that got you to the momentum in the first place. Now, the real winners in life, when I say winners, I'm not talking in the standpoint that there is losers out there. I'm talking in the standpoint that people that excel in life and people that succeed in life in every area of their life, financially, spiritually. When I say spiritually, one of my good friends, Jeff, who I did an episode with, and one of my other good friends has this quote. They said, keep showing up to the altar of your soul. What does that mean? It says, it basically means keep showing up for yourself. Keep showing up at the altar of yourself. In a spiritual standpoint, it's just like, keep showing up for your inner child. Keep showing up, doing a meditation every single morning. Keep showing up, doing the hard work, and you'll gain momentum that way. The law is everywhere. Like, I'm just thinking about it right now and how amazing it is, the law of momentum. A lot of you guys have probably seen that video. If you haven't, you should look up compounding interest. And if somebody invests $300 a month and they start at 18 and they hit 40 years old, they never have to invest ever again. But if somebody starts at 30, all right, there's 12 years after the 18-year-old, and they invest all the way up till they're 65, they invest double the amount of time, they end up with half the money. That is the law of momentum. It's the law of compounding interest. That's how life works. I remember when I got really shredded for the first time. I was about 18, 19. My girlfriend at the time, Evie Somas, broke up with me. I was devastated. Thought she was the one. Oh, young love. And I remember I got shredded. I got shredded. I used all that energy. And I got shredded at the gym. But what happened for like 4 months straight, I was doing all this work and I hit this level in my body fat percentage where it just wouldn't go off anymore. It was weird. I was like, man, like, I'm being as more disciplined there. I kept on going, and all of a sudden, it literally was in like 2 weeks. Every time I would wake up, I was like, man, like, I'm getting lean. And in a 2-week period, I just got lean. I was like really lean. Was it the 2 weeks, or was it the 5 months that I've been working my ass off? It's like that story of the bamboo tree, that it takes a year for the bamboo tree, or 7 years, or whatever it is, just for a sprout to break above the soil, because it's creating a root system, it's creating a foundation. Then it grows 90 feet tall in 90 days, grows a foot a day. Now, did that bamboo tree grow 90 feet in 90 days? Or did it grow 90 feet in the 5 years it took to get to the point where you could see a shoot above the ground? A lot of people are not willing to do the consistent work day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, to really come across momentum. And you have to really feel what it feels like not to have momentum, and to start doing the things that get you that momentum again. One of the best books I've ever read, I can't remember the author, but the title is called The Slight Edge. It has this drawing in there, and if you're watching on the YouTube channel, it's shaped like this. It's shaped like a W, where it goes up and down, like multiple W's. Imagine up and down, up and down. And he has this, and I said this already, he said, most people's lives are like this, and it's like an upward thing, and you're doing all this effort. Maybe you're going to the gym, maybe you're eating consistently, maybe you're nurturing that relationship or nurturing your marriage, and you feel like you're getting somewhere. Then all of a sudden, you put on 20 pounds. Your savings are gone. Your connection with your spouse just doesn't feel like what it does before. You have a shitty paycheck if you're in sales. You're like, what the hell happened? And he said, you stopped doing the little steps that got you to where you are. And if you really want to break through to that next level of your life, you've got to consistently do those little things every single day that got you to where you are right now. And then you just keep doing those things. You just break through this plateau that we all bounce against, this plateau. Everybody hits it. That's what separates the people who are very, very successful in whatever they do. It could be dancing. It could be Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It could be investing. It could be saving money. It could be relationships. It could be anything. It's the small, consistent things every single day that are boring that really create that momentum in your life. Success is actually boring. The process of success, doing anything, is really, really boring. That's why a lot of people don't stay consistent with it, because it's fucking boring. Like, okay, look at bodybuilders. Like some of the best bodybuilders in the world. You watch what they eat. Like, what'd you eat? Oh, today I had chicken and rice. Then I had some white fish with some rice. And then I had some steak with some sweet potato. And then I had a protein shake. And then I had this. And then I had my casein protein before I went to bed. And then I got up at 2 a.m. and had a protein shake to make sure I always have protein. Okay, what did you eat yesterday? Same thing. What did you eat a year ago? Same thing. What did you eat 5 years ago? Same thing. What did you eat 10 years ago? Same thing. Now, if your goal is to be a bodybuilder, you've got to do what they do consistently, day in, day out. Same with investing. It's just like most people see the Lambos and see all that stuff, or building a business. They see the fruits, but they don't see, like, one of my favorite people in the world, Andy Frisella. He's like, you don't see me making 33 grand. His brother Sal and him made 33 grand, I think, in the first 10 years of business, or the first 5 years of business. Something just sucks. And now he's got an amazing car collection. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He owns First Form, which is a company, really cool values. Just a cool guy, like a legit entrepreneur that ate shit for years and years and years. Same with Gary Vee. Gary Vee has such an amazing message. You've got so much fucking time. One of my favorite people that I interviewed was Nima Naz, and he has an amazing impression of Gary Vee that I just butchered. But his message is, you have so much time, you have more time than you think you do. And he said something really interesting the other day. He was talking about, this guy was talking about how he wants to be an expert in his field. And this ties into momentum perfectly. And he said, if you focus on being an expert, that's just a way that you're trying to satisfy your own ego, because you want to be called an expert. It's like, your goal should be to be an enthusiast. Because if you're an enthusiast about something, one day, if you're enthusiast about it for a long enough period of time, one day people will refer to you as an expert. It's kind of like, you can't refer to yourself as an expert. People have to refer to you as an expert. It's kind of like calling yourself humble. You can't really say that you're humble. Other people have to refer to you as humble, because as soon as you say you're an expert, you kind of seem like you're blowing your own horn. And as soon as you say you're humble, you are now not humble. But if you become enthusiastic about the process of whatever it is, the process of getting better every single day, you will create that momentum in your life. And just remember, if you're feeling stuck right now in your life, just remember, it takes 31% of a rocket ship's fuel in the first 60 seconds just to pull it out of Earth's gravitational pull. So if you're like, oh, I'm doing the work, are you really doing the work? Or could you do more right now to really get that momentum back? And then all of a sudden, it'll start feeling easier. It'll start feeling a lot easier. It takes so much effort and so much energy to get something moving, but once something's moving, it does not take much effort at all to keep it moving. But as soon as you let yourself slow down, it takes so much effort to get yourself moving again. And the more times you do that, the more you'll damage your own self-image. You'll damage your confidence in yourself. And then you'll end up creating this identity, which I've talked about a lot, of a quitter, where every time you gain momentum, you have this voice. It's like, oh, well, you're just going to lose it. And then you'll self-sabotage because you don't think you are worth where the momentum is going to take you. Therefore, we sabotage ourselves. We have like a governor on us. We have a limit of who we think we are. Oh, say it takes 212 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what it is in Celsius right now. I've been in Canada and North America for too long. I used to talk Celsius with that kind of stuff, but now I don't. 212 degrees Fahrenheit to create boiling water, right? A lot of people, they hit like 100 degrees and they're like, I'm good. And if they accidentally hit 150 in their life, they will sabotage themselves to get back down to 100. And imagine if they hit 212 and started boiling and started really making stuff happen. They would do actions, they would eat food if they got really shredded to get back to who they believe they are internally, who they believe themselves to be based on their identity. And this is all linked. Everything I talk about is linked. Everything that everybody talks about is linked. It's all the same stuff. It's about doing things every single day that make you proud of yourself, that give you momentum so you get to learn to sit in that place and be like, you know what, I can sit in this momentum. I'm worth this amount of money. I should be healthy. I deserve to be a healthy person. I deserve to be the best at my craft. I deserve to be the best husband, wife, spouse, brother, mother, father, whatever it is. And when you feel that momentum, make sure you don't stop doing the things that got you there. Now, will you slip up at times? Yes. But the more you slip up, you just have to understand you are now creating a cycle and creating a loop, which is then creating identity, which will keep you stuck in that place. I really hope this episode helps you guys. I've got some momentum right now at my job. And the next episode, I'll have a check-in for you. Hopefully I keep this momentum. There's no reason why I shouldn't. I'm going in early. I'm staying a little bit later right now because I got this momentum. And if you've got momentum in your life right now, keep those actions up, double down on those actions. And if you don't have momentum, triple down on your actions and get that momentum back so you can actually start getting to where you want to go, whether or not it's in your health, your wealth, your love, whatever, your spiritual walk, whatever it may be. Get the momentum back so you can look in the mirror and be really proud of the human being that you are. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.